The retirement of Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy left a vacancy on the highest court that has Democrats triggered. The resistance immediately moved into high gear in hopes of stopping Donald Trump from getting a second Supreme Court nominee on the bench. The Democrats failed to stop the appointment of Neil Gorsuch, and he was confirmed 52-48, strictly along party lines. However, the Republican lead in the Senate has slipped to 2, and polls show that Democrats have an outside shot at reclaiming the Senate in the midterms. For this reason, Democrats are hoping to stall the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh for as long as possible in hopes of taking control of the Senate and blocking any Trump nominee. Their plan to delay was hatched when an anonymous accuser, now known as college professor Christine Blasey Ford, came forward with a vague and unverifiable sexual assault accusation against Kavanaugh from 1982 when he was 17. Hawaii Democratic Senator Mazie Hirono has been one of the leaders in Congress pushing to delay the Kavanaugh confirmation.
I expect the men in this country and the men in this committee, and many of them, believe me, because we all signed on to this letter to demand an FBI investigation, but really, guess who's perpetuating all of these kinds of actions? It's the men in this country, and I just want to say to the men in this country, just shut up and step up. Do the right thing.
Hirono's righteous indignation was undercut by the fact she revealed the true reason she opposes Kavanaugh. He's a conservative judge. Ford has yet to testify to the Senate, but every witness she named, including a lifelong friend of hers, said the alleged party where it supposedly happened never took place. That hasn't stopped the Democrats and their Hollywood army from going on the offensive. Julianne Moore, Eva Longoria, Marissa Tomei, and other actresses released a maudlin video showing their support despite not knowing any of the facts.
Dear Professor Ford.
Dear Professor Ford.
Dear Professor Ford.
We know how difficult it is to stand up to powerful people.
We want to thank you for publicly sharing your story of sexual violence.
As members of the Senate determine whether Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh
should serve as a Supreme Court Justice.
The Supreme Court Justice.
This context is critical.
The behavior you described was wrong.
Wrong, and runs directly counter to upholding the law and promoting justice.
He should not be confirmed.
But as usual, leftists are true hypocrites. They never hold themselves to the same standard they push on their political opponents. Deputy DNC Chairman Keith Ellison was recently accused of physical and mental abuse by an ex-girlfriend who even provided documentation of her injuries. But Democrats ignore those claims, literally.
Have you protested that what this is a protest against the Republicans who are ramming Judge Kavanaugh.
Do you think Keith Ellison should resign?
I have no comment. Thank you.
He's been accused of physical and verbal abuse. Do you think Keith Ellison should resign?
Who's the organizer of the committee?
Do you think Keith Ellison should resign? He's been accused of physical and mental abuse by his ex-girlfriend, Karen Monahan. She released her documents, her medical records this week.
I'm sorry, nothing's processing right now.
Keith Ellison is the co-chair of the Democratic National Committee.
Dean Cain, one of the few open conservatives in Hollywood, called out his colleagues for their hypocrisy and obvious political maneuvering.
I feel for any victim of sexual assault, no question, male or female. But that is just completely political. Where's the video for Karen Monahan? You know, Keith Ellison's accuser. Where's the full-length movie for the Bill Clinton accusers? It just doesn't exist. It's completely political, and that's kind of tragic because sexual assault is a very serious thing, and it kind of cheapens it because they're doing this specifically for political reasons.
The hypocrisy doesn't start with Keith Ellison. Democrats rallied around Ted Kennedy even though he left a woman to drown in his car while he changed clothes and concocted a story for the police. Bill Clinton faced multiple accusations of rape and sexual assault, but the Democrats didn't bat an eye because they have no principles. All they care about is their policy. Co-host of The View, Joy Behar, admitted as much 2 years ago when Hillary Clinton was running for president.
Kennedy. Remember Chappaquiddick? Am I the oldest person in the room?
I remember that.
Chappaquiddick. I mean, a girl drowns and he abandons her and he drowned. And women still voted for Teddy Kennedy. Why? Because he voted for women's rights. That's why. That's the bottom line of it, in my opinion. I mean, I don't like either one of them, to tell you the truth, Teddy or Bill. But they're both dogs, as far as I'm concerned. But I still will vote for Bill Clinton because he votes in my favor.
Senator Dianne Feinstein, who sat on Ford's allegations for 6 weeks in order to drop the bombshell at the 11th hour, was called out for her hypocrisy by Bill Clinton rape accuser Juanita Broaddrick. Hillary Clinton herself was ripped for her obvious hypocrisy on the issue of sexual assault allegations.
Hillary led the effort to disparage her husband's woman accusers who were dismissed as bimbo eruptions.
In November, she wrote on her Twitter page, she said, "Every survivor of sexual assault deserves to be heard, believed, and supported."
That's interesting. I was never heard and supported and believed. She tried to basically derail me.
The left's only principle is whatever it takes. They'll do anything to grow their power. Conservative writer David Horowitz, who was a far-left activist in his youth, summed up the left perfectly.
If you really believe that you could have a world where everybody's taken care of and there's no conflicts, what crime would you not commit and what lie would you not tell? Or if you can't commit the crime, what crime would you not support?
Apparently, there's no lie they wouldn't tell and no crime they wouldn't cover up. If you would like more real news that you can trust, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.